Yepyeni bir haftada yeni gelişmelerle ve sinema dosyalarımızla karşınızdayız. Sinemaskop'a hızla başlıyoruz ve sinema dünyasında herkesten önce bir adım önde oluyoruz.
What happens to one of you happens to you all.
Distopik filmler her zaman dikkat çeker. Bunlardan birisi de değişik bir konuya sahip olan Seven Sisters. Başrollerinde Noomi Rapace, Willem Dafoe ve Glenn Close'un yer aldığı bilim kurgu gerilim filminin yönetmen koltuğunda Tommy Wirkola yer alırken filmin senaryosunu ise Max Botkin'le Kerry Williamson kaleme aldı. Dünyanın nüfus artışı sebebiyle yeni bir yasa getirilmiş ve aileler artık sadece birer çocuk sahibi olabilecektir. Ancak Yediz kız kardeşler hükümet tarafından müdahale edilmeden ve tehlikeli bir çatışmanın içinde kalmadan hayatta kalmaya çalışmak zorundadır. Bunun içinde hepsi sanki tek bir kişiymiş gibi davranmaktadırlar. İçlerinden birinin ortadan kaybolması kardeşleri tehlikeli sulara doğru çekecektir. Romanya'da 94 günde çekilen filmin kamera arkasını seyrediyoruz.
It's not so very different from the world we live in today.
This is probably the most challenging thing I've ever done.
These kinds of stories in the gray areas of life are much more interesting than anything that's black and white, because life is not black and white.
It's the world in the future, near future, but the world hasn't really gone that much forward. It has taken one step forward and two steps back.
The premise is we're in an overpopulated world, and the government has set a one-child policy that they want strictly enforced.
7 sisters, 7 identical sisters, surviving as one in a world where siblings are not allowed.
And the grandfather actually raises them.
You must work collectively.
And because they're 7, he names them each one day of the week.
For the world, they seem like one person, but 6 day a week, the siblings wait until their turn to go outside.
And they're confined in this space, in this loft, where, it's their home, it's their sanctuary, but it's also at the same time their prison.
So Monday gets to go out on Monday, Tuesday gets to go out on Tuesday, and so on.
And our story evolves until Monday night. Monday does not come home.
Well, Karen Sutman is a character created by Terence Sutman, who is the grandfather of the characters that Noomi play, and he's constructed this character for them to live through and to be when they go outside the house.
That are function as one, and they're completely depending on each other, but they still have their own desires and dreams and personalities. Well, technically speaking, one of us would get to live.
Monday is the most like Karen Sutman. She has embraced this life. Tuesday is the hippie, she smokes dope, she's kind of like whatever. Wednesday is the sports fan. She is athletic, rough, tomboy. Thursday is the rebel. She doesn't want to be Karen Sutman once a week. She wants to have her own life.
Friday is a computer geek. She has very bad social skills. Saturday, of course, she never goes to work. She's always the one who has to take clients out for drinks or meet them in a social setting.
And Sunday is the mother of them all. She's the one that cooks dinner and takes care of them.
So they all have different skill sets that they bring to the character and to their life of Karen Sutman, which makes them combine a very, very strong person.
It's almost like chapters of my life. I've been moving around a lot, and then as a kid, you learn how to adapt into different situations, and you just become a chameleon because that's the way you have to do it.
And also the idea that, there's a little bit of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all of these characters in all of us. I feel like all of them are parts of a fractured psyche.
She needs to come up with something. We can come up with a funny line that she kind of comments on her face and her being blonde, and the apartment is a complete mess.
I am absolutely lucky because when Rafaela told me it's Noomi Rapace, I was immediately went to see the face. And I see all the space is correct to do changement. I go, oh, meno male, fantastic.
It's just amazing to see what Noomi can do with bringing to life these 7 characters.
She has so many great qualities, but the fearless aspect of it and how much I knew she would embrace it is, of course, key.
I have a slight dose of schizophrenia in me. I don't know.
Willem Dafoe plays the role of Terence, who's the grandfather of the character that Noomi plays. And he is their guardian. He's the one that raises them and teaches them about the world and how to survive.
It's an interesting character because he's a man that you're not quite sure where he fits into the world or where he comes from, but he's obviously given everything up to take care and nurture and teach these 7 children.
Action.
Joe is Cayman, Glenn Close's character's right hand, sort of henchman, and he's a child education bureau agent who's chasing down the siblings.
You got guts. I'll give you that.
The challenge has been to build up an inner logic for the character. Why does he do these things? Why is he on Cayman's team? Because he has, when they both have a point in a world where there's overpopulation, you should probably stick to the one child.
Glenn Close plays Nicolette Cayman, who is the leader of the Child Education Bureau, the boss, the person who runs it all. And I think she is a person who believes strongly in what she does, and I think she's right about the world in so many ways.
But she's not sentimental. If she allowed herself to be sentimental, she would never be able to do what she does. It's in our lifetime, even in my lifetime, that there's going to be a big problem with overpopulation. When I was studying in biology in college, we did an experiment where we put microbes in a tube, and their population goes up, then it levels off, and then they die because their own waste basically kills them. And that's kind of the world that in this movie people are trying to recover. You could say that she's a hero, but in the context of the story, you could also say that she's a villain.
Yes, she has some dark sides to her, but in many ways she's right, which makes her very interesting.
You know, the screenplay made that list of best 100 screenplays in Hollywood. It's called the Blacklist.
All the independent scripts, the best ones, are in this blacklist every year, and this had been there a few years ago. I remember reading about it.
So the screenplay had a lot of heat on it, and we had several directors involved, and then for one reason or the other, it didn't work out.
One important thing to know is originally when we bought the script, the lead character was a man.
I got a call from CAA, and they asked me to meet Tommy.
When I met with Rafaela, the producer, the first time, I said, yeah, this is interesting to me. I love the world. I love the style the style I have to offer to this, and I love the ideas in it. I love the themes. But if I'm going to do it, I want to do it with a woman.
Obviously, with a man, you can do it, but it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be as colorful. It wouldn't be as dramatic.
And then Tommy was friendly with Numi, and then they were talking to each other, and she says, I love the concept. I absolutely want to read it. So we decided to completely rewrite the script for her.
I can't help but think the movie's appeal will be quite unique because it'll appeal to young girls as well, because they'll identify with this character.
Every shot that involves all the sisters, that involves duplication, is different often, and we have different techniques for different shots. We use all different. We use face replacement, we use split screens, we use static cameras, we use the doubles. We have actresses that we had hired in to portray the siblings from behind in certain shots and in the background for certain shots.
It's really tough because usually in a conventional movie you cheat all the time with the lighting, with the camera angles, but here we cannot, because once we lock the camera and we place the lighting, it has to be like that for the whole sequence mostly.
We have to actually shoot her role as one character in each of the shots before we can move on, and then we go back and we shoot each one. So because of that, it's challenging just to keep your head around all the active shots at any given time.
We have the replication and we have the different layers, and if we move something, then the layers don't match and we have to go back again, and of course that's a disaster.
But in terms of visual effects work, I think there's a couple of shots in one particular chase sequence which I'm looking forward to seeing. There's pretty great stunts, that rooftop chase and lots of drops.
Numi is very, very physical herself. She's really good. She does most of it herself.
It's like the most challenging and difficult thing I've ever done.
Numi's great because she trains like crazy anyway, and you know, she moves really well.
We've only done one real fight scene with her, but that was a big one, and it involved all of the sisters that she's playing except one.
There's 5 of the sisters who actually have a fight there with like 3 enforcers, or you know, 3 agents.
When the fight starts, they get to experience them one by one as they attack them, and in all their different ways and with different personalities.
2 of them had certain skills, and the rest of them had absolutely nothing. So it was trying to make it believable that it's not too martial arty, or you know, suddenly like 5 sisters can beat the hell out of 3 guys. And so it was trying to keep it realistic in that respect.
All the sisters have such a unique personality, and of course that's reflected in the apartment that they share.
You know, 50% of the movie is in the loft. So there's our old, gritty, warm... When you're actually concentrated on an area, you see that personality. But then when you see the whole loft, it all feels like one place.
It's their safe space, but at the same time it's very representative of the world that is outside, which is just crowded and overpopulated. We found some amazing locations that we're going to shoot in, and we're also building parts of it. It's of course the heart of this world in a way, because this is where children are being taken if they're caught. This is where Cayman rules from. This is her base of operation, and it was important that it's big, it's grand, it's unique, and but it should also feel like a scary place to go to.
Because of the topic of the other population, with Rafaela and with Tommy, we always thought it was important that it remained very real and very grounded.
Because it's futuristic, but there's nothing in the script that really demands that it's terrifically technologically different. It's almost like we've kind of just bumped along the way we've been bumping along.
It's just, just try and keep it as simple as possible. Take something that you're familiar with and give it a little twist if we possibly can.
I think we have a very rich script, and of course I hope they think when they go out as well. We have a very important message to our film, and we have important themes and a great core. And I do believe we're touching on a couple of very important subjects when it comes to the future of our planet.
When you see all those 7 siblings interacting, you get struck by the originality of it all. It's such an original concept.
It's an action-packed, incredibly different thriller.
It mixes the high concept you often see in big American films, but with great themes and characters you see in smaller film, independent films, and European films.
I think it has the thriller, it has the kind of typical thriller element, but also it's a drama between like sisterhood and everything that comes with like different and complicated family.
We haven't used our superior brain in order to survive on a planet. We have not learned how to sustain either the planet or ourselves. And if we had used our brain, we would have figured it out. Now we're in a point where you have to legislate change.
Where we are in the world right now with overpopulation, I think the figures were in 7+ billion, heading rapidly to 10 billion people. Can we support that many people on the planet? Are we depleting our finite resources?
It's a movie that I hope will get a lot of people. They'll be entertained on one hand, and I think we will have done our job if they go out really questioning and thinking about how Homo sapiens, how humanity relates to the rest of the planet.
I should have seen this coming.
Yoğun bir sinema turunun ardından Sinemaskop'un sonuna geldik. Haftaya yine dolu dolu bir bölümle aynı gün ve saatte tekrar ekranlarınızda karşınızda olacağız. Hafta içi boyunca sinemadan haberdar olmak istiyorsanız da sizleri sosyal medya hesaplarımıza bekliyoruz. Sinemasız kalmayın. Hoşçakalın.